Yeah, well, you never have to be scared to ask for help. That's the thing. One of the things I learned. So it's really, I think it's really powerful to be vulnerable. And if you dare to ask for help, then you can see there are many people who are on the same, who had the same issues as you had before, and who are willing to help you. And yeah, like I said, I was shy. I was a little bit insecure, and yeah, now today I'm here in a podcast sharing my story with you and with your audience.
Sure.
So from this point to that point, yeah, it's a long way, but yeah, here I am. So I think you every day you meet the right people in the right moment.
Welcome to the Audacious Living Podcast, hosted by my man, Audley Stevenson, the Odd Man.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Audacious Living Podcast. We're back for another edition, and it really is a pleasure to be here. And I truly appreciate you taking time out of your day to hang out and grow and be inspired. You know, the goal of this podcast has always been simple: it's to help you live your best audacious life ever. You know, it's one filled with purpose, passion, and the courage to keep showing up for yourself, even when it's tough. You know, life's a lot like a living room. You know, over time, we fill it with memories, habits, beliefs, and experiences. Some beautiful, some not so much. But if the lights are off, we can't see what's really there. And it's only when we flick that switch, when awareness kicks in, and then we start to see things clearly. Maybe there's some clutter we need to move. Maybe some of the furniture has to be rearranged. But the light didn't create what's in the room. It just revealed what was always there. That's the power of awareness. And it's also the foundation of mindset, because when we become conscious of our thoughts that we hold on to, we start to understand how deeply they shape our lives. My guest today is Stefan Delsing. He knows all about this. He's a founder of Mindset Explained. It's a powerful platform dedicated to help young people build strong, healthy, and growth-oriented mindsets. You know, his mission is simple. It's to guide others toward greater self-awareness, trust, curiosity, accountability, and love. Those are the four pillars that form the foundation of his work. Stefan's focus is on mental health and personal growth for young adults, and it couldn't be more timely. You know, in a world where social media often magnifies comparison and self-doubt, his message of authenticity and self-trust cuts all that noise. So now that we've got you all set, let's jump into our conversation with Stefan. It really, really is enlightening, and I think it's great stuff that you'll enjoy. Hey, Stefan, thank you for joining me here today on the Audacious Living Podcast. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. So thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I'm really thrilled and look forward to this conversation. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, listen, I always talk about, and I probably say at the beginning of every, interview we do, a conversation, it's the opportunity to engage in dialogue that can, potentially help other people is just really exhilarating and exciting for me. And so it's something that I embrace. And so you're helping me get excited here. So thank you for again, it means something for you being here. On this podcast, we talk, always and often about, helping individuals get on their best audacious life. And a really key aspect of this is understanding that, each of us are on our own individual path and our own individual journey. And, the things that are on it are meant for us. And sometimes there are things that get in our way, or obstacles or challenges. And it's really incumbent on us to find a way to work through those to get to the other side of these challenges and problems and obstacles, because that's where our greatness lies. And so I know this is near and dear to your heart, this topic, because and particularly your focus on young people. So maybe as to provide, we'll open up the floor here to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to our audience, talk about the work that you do and what's got you to the point that you're at now.
Yeah, thank you. I'm from my platform is called Mindset Explained, and we're focusing on young adults. And young adults means people from 18 till 40. But I also think if you have a curious mind, then I also think you have a young mind. So if you're not in this age range, but you feel like you have a young mind, then this platform is also for you. I like to write things. I like to share my knowledge and the things I learned in life, in the school of life, but also in coaching and in all the things I'm doing. And I try to share this with the world. And whoever wants to read it or needs to read it, hopefully reach my audience. and help this young adult in the challenges that life has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And what you said, I fully agree on that. Everyone wants to reach goals and wants to reach things and get to the other side. That's where the opportunity, that's where growth lies. But sometimes it's not easy, and a little guidance is needed. And I hope to be that guidance because, this I do with the articles I'm writing, the blogs I'm writing, but also with the coaching program we offer.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's all the things we are doing at the moment.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Why the focus on young people? Why did you make that your focus?
Well, if I look back at my own life, then I was also a young adult. I'm still a young adult, I think.
We are young at heart. We're all there.
Exactly. So I think everyone has their own challenges and had their own obstacles in life. And I know from my own heart how difficult it can be as a young adult because there are so many expectations from society, from your family, from yourself. Also, I put the bar really high for myself, sometimes too high. And then it's nice to have like a platform or a person you can soundboard with or who can travel along with you on the journey of your path. So,
Gotcha. Did you encounter any sort of personal challenges or things that sort of put you on this path? I mean, I know even myself, there's different points where I kind of had my own kind of awakening, like, oh, wait a second,
Yeah.
and then you sort of, and that's what helps form sort of your mission, right, if you will, or your life's mission. Was there anything like that for you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if I look back at me at a young age, and I look back at a young boy who was very shy and very insecure and having trouble with finding their spot in life or their position in life. And along the way, you learn a lot of things. And I thought, okay, it would be really helpful if someone can help me or have like a mentor or have like a community where I can share my experiences or find fellow people who have the same issues or that I'm not alone in this.
Right.
And that was something I really was missing in my life. And of course, you meet people along the way, but
that kind of give that guidance.
Yeah.
Was that the key for you, other people, or what did you do to work through the challenges? And maybe can you, just for our audience, get a better idea of kind of what kind of challenges you had to deal with?
Well, you never have to be scared to ask for help. That's the thing. One of the things I learned. So it's really, I think it's really powerful to be vulnerable. And if you dare to ask for help, then you can see there are many people who are on the same, who had the same issues as you had before, and who are willing to help you. And like I said, I was shy. I was a little bit insecure, and now today I'm here in a podcast sharing my story with you and with your audience.
Sure.
So from this point to that point, it's a long way, but here I am. So I think every day you meet the right people in the right moment, and I hope to be with Mindset Explained. I hope to be that person or that platform for you if you are in need for that. Yeah.
Right. And so you talked about getting support from other people. Was that the major difference, or were there other things that you did to help yourself get through those challenges?
Well, also I think it's a shift of mindset at one point. Indeed, Mindset Explained. I chose this name not on on an accident. It's on purpose because I think everything starts with mindset, and the moment I start realizing that was for me a game changer. So you're not your thoughts, but everything starts with your thoughts, and everything you look around you, it's created once was a thought or an idea in someone's head. This laptop or this house or someone had this idea and created it. So it all starts with a thought. So if you can improve the quality of your thoughts and your mindset, then you can also improve or you can change things in your life. And I think that's a really good start point. Yeah.
For young people, would you say that's one of the biggest challenges? Like, because again, when you really think about it, like, where do you learn this? Where do you understand it? Like, you're, as a young person, you're still trying to figure out who you are and your place in the world and what's important to you, and maybe your values are still developing. Is this, I wonder, how does the mindset fit into that?
Yeah, indeed. It's like layers. You have the layer of identity. That's the highest, the lowest layer. So that's really in the depth of yourself. So who are you? What are my values? What are my needs, my desires? You have to figure it out all yourself, especially as a young adult. And I think it's really important uh, to have an open mind and to have a growth mindset. And if you have a fixed mindset, if you think, this is the way I am, I don't have the talent to do that, this is too difficult for me, that's a fixed mindset. I think if you can change that to a growth mindset, like, okay, I don't know this now at this moment, but what can I do to get the skill, to learn the skill, and to get this done? I think that makes a big difference. And for now, I noticed many young adults have this challenge of comparing themselves with others,
Right.
and especially with social media and also the online presence. And
Right.
yeah, comparison is a big issue. And it's not good to compare yourself with other people because there's always someone who is doing better than you,
Right.
of
Right.
course.
Right.
The only
Right.
thing, yeah,
No, I was
sorry.
going to say, because off the top, we talked about our own individual pathway, right? And
Hmm.
it's so easy to, me doing my thing, and I look to the left and I see Stefan's doing this awesome thing, and I look to our
Hmm.
right, and Mary's doing this incredible thing here, and I am where I am, and you start to lose. So you said, identity being the number one piece there, like that's so
Yeah.
important, because if you recognize your identity, you also recognize that person, the thing that you're doing, Stefan, it's meant for
Hmm.
you. It's not for me, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I think this is. Thank you for this this sum up because this helps me to organize my thoughts a little bit more. Because I think you should not compare yourself with others, indeed. And what you said, everyone has his own path, and especially if you look on Instagram or Facebook, there's always someone who is further or a different path, but that doesn't matter. All that matters is
Right.
your path, and I think that's also a really big eye opener for me in the past. Yeah.
And I think too as well, it's really easy to kind of look at where people are at and go, oh my gosh, look what they're doing. But what we
Hmm.
don't know is the hours, the time
Yeah,
spent, the
exactly.
number of times that they fail, they didn't
Hmm.
succeed, their own challenges to get to where they're at. Like that's really
Yeah.
important. And if you would just think, oh, I'm gonna do what they do and it's good,
Yeah.
you're selling their journey short.
Exactly. You see only like the tip of the iceberg, and you don't see what's under the surface and all the work and all the fails and all the things that didn't go well. You don't see that. You only see the perfect end result,
Right,
especially
right.
on Instagram or social
That's right.
media. Um, yeah, so that's very good to keep in mind. But that's something that people don't think about if you compare yourself with others. Yeah, indeed.
And it's interesting because I bet you, right? I bet you, I could be wrong here, and I've got nothing to prove, but if you go to these people that have this perfect life that we're all clamoring for and aspiring to get to, if you ask them about their life, they're going to tell you that their journey wasn't perfect, was far from that.
Exactly, but yeah, you're never gonna ask them because yeah, you see this and whoever. Yeah, I'm not gonna ask them. Tell me about your failures, but indeed, what you said, I bet they have a lot of failures, and yeah, that's something to keep in mind. And I think the only person you should compare yourself with is who you were yesterday. It's a little bit a cliche to say maybe, but that's how it is. Yeah.
Why is mindset so pivotal for young people?
For young, especially for young people, you mean?
Yeah.
I think it can help you. It can give you security. It can give you like something to fall back on. If you know, okay, I can trust on myself. I can trust on my mindset and also on my gut feeling, because I believe you should not only listen to your head but also to the rest of your body,
Hmm.
because your gut feeling and the rest of your body also tries to tell you something, and maybe even better signals than the cognitive, the head tries to tell you. But I think a good set of mindset is as a mindset that's good, a growth mindset, a positive growth mindset, can help you get further than you thought you could get, and it can be like a secure base for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think when we talk about sort of young people, how important that is up front, right? In terms of
Hmm.
them understanding again themselves, the identity piece that we talked about, and then they can help forge their own paths. And a big part of this growth is trial and error.
Exactly.
We're
Yeah.
afraid to fail sometimes, right?
Hmm.
But if you think about it, if you try anything for the first time,
Hmm.
Stefan, more than likely you're going to suck at it because you've never done it before,
Exactly.
right? And
Exactly.
people struggle with that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And a good example for myself is if I go to the gym, for example, if I compare myself 20 years ago or 15 years ago, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. And also not so heavy weights, or I was not so disciplined, or yeah. But now I think it's all practice and learning and trying again,
Yes.
trying, pushing yourself a little bit more. And that's with many things in life. You have to try and to stand up and try it again. And if you fail, okay, let's pick myself up and try it again.
Hmm.
Because I think only the people who are consistent and keep trying will get there at one point.
That's right. That's right. Right.
Yeah.
And it's also important to so, I mean, the way I see it is, and again, maybe I just take an overly simplistic view to this thing, but it's like if you try something that you've never done before and you failed,
Mm-hmm.
well, first let's go back to the trying piece first off, right? Trying says you've never done it before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are trying it, and if you're not success, so it's kind of look. So if you try something, look at the two possible offshoots, right? Either you're successful, which is what you
Yeah,
wanted, so you're happy, or you're
exactly.
unsuccessful and you fail, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. Fail, and I heard a really neat acronym once. Fail stands, the acronym is first attempt in learning. That's what fail
Oh,
stands
yeah.
for, right?
That's a good
And
one.
so you've
Yeah.
learned something. You've learned how to do something. So now
Yeah.
you're better for the next time. So if you fail, you tried it, didn't work out. Okay, so now I know what not to do. Now I know how
Mm-hmm.
to do it better. Now I know that I can even take my experiences and help someone else, and kind of what your platform. So that's one of the you look at your platform is based on, right? Your own experiences.
Exactly.
You can help young people shorten their learning curve, and so
Yeah.
failing we demonize, we make it sound like a bad thing, but there's actually a lot of benefits that come out of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well said. And I saw a wonderful quote about this. It's either I win or I learn something.
Yeah,
And that's a really shift of mindset because many people think either I win, I do it good, or I fail. But fail is the wrong word to say to yourself. You have to say, I'm not failing. I learn something. This is an opportunity to learn something, and I can do it better next time with this information I got now. And I think if that's a good example of a good mindset. I think. Yeah.
right, right, right. I'd love to know how you uh, came with the mindset explained. Like, how did you land on that as your platform?
Well, also the whole mindset explained, I think it's also a very good example of me learning new skills because I built the website myself. I didn't know what to do, how to do it. So basically, I learned the skills, failed many times, and I was thinking about a good name for the platform, and yeah, I thought mindset is something. I think that should be something with that because mindset is so important. Like I
Yeah.
said before, and I have here in my house, I have like a poster with the mindset is everything. And I thought, okay, why do I have this here? Ah, I believe this is not a coincidence. Maybe I should focus on this and find a name who fits in this with something with mindset. And okay, then mindset sounds good, but then I need to add something more explained
Mm,
so that it's
mm,
clear. Okay, I try to explain things for the
gotcha.
audience. And of course, it's broader than mindset because I also write articles about psychology and coaching and everything that has to do with the mental health of people.
Yes.
Um, but I think this covers up a lot of what it's all about for my platform, indeed. Yeah.
Got you. Got you. So on your platform, I did take a look at your website, and one of the things that I found interesting, what I absolutely would love to explore with you here, is sort of the four pillars of the philosophy that's based on. You've got four pillars, which is based on, and you talk about trust, accountability, curiosity, and love. I wonder if you would
Yeah.
expand further on those. I think those are all wonderful, wonderful pillars.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought, okay, I have to have like a philosophy also for the website, and these four pillars I think are very important because it's really important to be authentic, stay true to yourself, and there are a lot of, yeah, everyone is unique, and if you stay true to yourself, then you are also true to your real power. Um, and trust is really important because, yeah, if you don't have trust in other people or in yourself, then nothing works. So trust is for me a really important value. Also, how I treat with other people, how I interact with other people. Um, so that's also a really important one. And what were the other two? Because I don't have.
Well,
Oh,
love, right? Love and curiosity.
Exactly, yeah. Curiosity is also the curious mind. So young people have a young mind, but also curious mind. And I think you should keep learning every day. It's a lifelong learning. So if you keep on having a curious mind, then I think you keep growing, and that's what we want. And love, yeah, that speaks for itself. I think love is the strongest force in the universe, and everything starts with love. Everything in the end is about love and sharing love and having love for yourself, for other people, for everything you do. And if you can tap into that life force, then I believe that you are capable of great things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it, and I think each of those pillars are very, very powerful in terms of
Hmm.
what they can offer and what they can do for individuals. Um, and you know, the other thing I like about it is that it's like almost like different entry points, right? Like because maybe you're naturally curious already, right? And so that
Hmm.
that gives you something to build on, and then so things like trust, accountability, and love are things that you want to work towards or improve. And the fact that you can do that, just and so you can just do that just with experiencing life, and that's why it's so important to do that. Go back to that thing about trying, right? Like try it and
Yeah,
see what happens, see where it goes, and
exactly. Yeah.
experience love. Like it's important to do that and be curious. And so I think yeah,
Mhm.
I do like the way you framed that. It's really, really nice.
Thank you, thank you. And I think if I look back at myself, I also had periods in my life that I thought, boy, I don't have energy for anything. I feel like nothing is successful, and I feel drained, and I don't have energy. But somehow I was able to change that mindset again. So it's okay to have sometimes these periods of not feeling curious, but the most important thing is like also being successful is getting up and grab yourself and get back on track again. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that you talk about is the victim mindset, and I'd love
Hmm.
to explore that with you further in terms of how it could hold us back in life, right? The one thing, and then what some of the things people can do to overcome that.
Yeah, victim mindset is basically is giving away your power, because if you're a victim, you think, I cannot help it because this happens to me, or some person did this to me, or I'm a victim of the circumstances. I cannot help it. But basically, what you're doing is giving away your power, because if you take ownership, if you say, okay, this happens to me, what can I do to change it, or what was my role in this, or if you dare to look in the mirror and be honest to yourself, that's the only way out, I think. Because if you don't dare to be honest to yourself, if you don't dare to trust on yourself,
Right.
yeah, then there's no way to grow. And I think you're fooling yourself a little bit if you deny that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. 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 So we understand that. So how do you get past it? How do you overcome it? Like it's going to be debilitating and hold you back, as you said and described. And I absolutely agree with you. What do we move forward? What do we need to do to move
Hmm.
forward?
Good question. I think that depends on every person has a different story, of course. Every person have a different thing that's hindering them. But most of the time, it has to do with limiting beliefs. So there are certain beliefs integrated in deeply inside you, and yeah, that has to change. And that's something that sometimes you can do it yourself, but yeah, sometimes it's so deep that then you need some help with that. And the coaching education I got is I learned to work with these limiting beliefs and to change them into empowering beliefs. So I think that's a very good start point if you want to work on that. You can do that via coaching indeed, or you can try it yourself, but then it's a little bit harder probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot, if you do things for whole your life like you do it, then it's really hard to change it, and you need someone external to point out the pain points.
Got you. Got you. Got you.
So yeah, I think hindering of limiting beliefs is something that can help to change and to get out of the victim role. Yeah.
We started this conversation. One of the very first things that you talked about was the power of our thoughts, how
Hmm.
important our thoughts are, and the
Exactly.
difference they can make to us. And it's still, and even in your, when we talk about limiting beliefs and how to get back, it really goes back to the thoughts we think.
Yeah, it comes back to the same point time over time again. I notice indeed the mindset is the starting point, and everything starts with your thoughts indeed. So limiting beliefs or also thoughts you have. And yeah, so I think it's a good idea to check your mindset if you are experiencing a victim mindset, for example. Or
I,
yeah.
I love the emphasis on just overall mental health, good positive mental health. I mean, there's so much power in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mental health is, especially nowadays, is a big problem. I know it's around me, and also if I look in the news and online, many people are struggling. And what I said before, I don't want to blame everything on social media, but there's a big, that's a big, how to say it, um, pain point there, I think. But mental health is something that many people struggle with. And um, I think many clients find the right coach or the right psychologist. Not everyone is how do you say this in good English? Not everyone is a good fit for each other.
Sure.
So you will get the clients you deserve as a coach, and you as a client you will get the coach you deserve, or the therapist. Yeah, that's what I believe.
And I think the key in what you're saying is to be able to discern, to make that distinction. Well, hey, this is the right coach for, this is the right client, right? It's because
Exactly.
not everyone fits.
Exactly. I'm not saying that I can help the whole world, definitely not. But I think some people are meant for me as a coach or as a therapist, and some people are meant for other people. And yeah, I think you will find the right mentor on your path when the time is ripe. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear
Yeah.
you on that. What kind of things can we do as individuals to strengthen, fortify, reinforce positive mental health?
I think one of the most important things, everything starts with awareness.
Okay.
So you have to be conscious about, try to observe yourself. What am I doing? Try to step out of a situation if you have a conflict, for example, and try to look at it as a third person. Try to observe yourself like you're someone else and see what's happening. What are you doing? What are you saying to yourself? Because you can only change the things that you are aware of. Everything starts with being conscious about what are you doing, how are you acting, what feelings do I get in my body, because your body also gives a lot of information. Does it feel right for me? Does it not feel right for me? What do I want in life? What are my goals? What are my dreams? And do I have a plan for that to reach that goal? Or I'm just freestyling and don't have a plan. That's also fine, but probably you need some more a plan to get to the point you want to get. And yeah, I think a good starting point would be being more conscious about your own behavior. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Like what's happening for you, right? It's being aware
exactly.
of that.
What's happening inside you, and yeah, yeah.
It's when I have this analogy that I oftentimes use when we talk about awareness or self-awareness, and I paint a picture of a living room, right? And in your living room, you've got your coffee table, your television, your lamp, your couch, your love seat. You have all these things in your living room, and if you go in that living room and turn off the light, everything is dark. You can't see those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you turn the light back on, they appear. The light didn't put those items there. Those items always
Oh,
were there. What the light did is allow you to see it, and that's how I equate
oh, wow.
self-awareness.
I love this one. This is a really nice one. Yeah, that's perfect. That describes perfectly what I meant to say. Indeed, that's a good analogy. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
no, because I think what it does, it allow, and then once you see where the furniture is, you can decide, okay, maybe I want to rearrange things, or maybe I want to add to things. You know what? There's a
Mm-hmm.
painting I want to put on my wall. Maybe I'll put that there to brush it up or improve
Exactly.
upon it, right? And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
That's a really great metaphor indeed, because if you put it in like a metaphor, you sometimes you understand better what you want, and life indeed and your development is basically the same thing. If you don't like such items in yourself, then you can change it, or you can move to another place, or yeah, indeed,
Right,
good
right.
one.
And that, yeah, and that for me is the real power of self-awareness and being really
Hmm.
aware of self. But the other part about that is also it's one thing to be aware. The other thing is to take action, do something about it.
Exactly, because I'm also great if I look to myself. I'm great of analyzing myself and understanding the problem. I know perfectly what's going wrong, but then the next step is to do something and to change it, and that's not easy. And
Yeah.
that's something where coaching can help a lot, I think, to have some soundboarding or some person who guides you into the right direction, or holds a mirror in front of your face and then push and forces you to actions. Maybe that's something. Yeah, so it's good to analyze it to know everything, but taking actions, it's the next step, and that's not easy always.
No, I get it, and sometimes you've got to sort of confront your own issues, right? Like,
Mhm.
the thing is, you can do that discovery work, and you can go, okay, you know what? I need to increase my self-awareness. I need to get better. I need to, and that's fine to do that. But you also have to be prepared to accept what you find. So again, let's go back to the living room, right? Like you have to
Mhm.
be prepared to know that, okay, if I pull that couch away from the wall, what's behind there? Is it
Exactly.
dusty? Is it, there's things here I don't like. Do I got to deal with that? Like, or do I just push the couch back and leave it, right?
Mhm. Exactly. And what also came to my mind now, I think it's what also is really important, because everyone wants to be better and strive
Sure.
to reach new goals and stuff. And that's great. But I think it's also really important to be happy and to be grateful for what you already have. Because your life is maybe already great, or there are a lot of things are going well, and a lot of things are in place. But if you're only looking into the future and I want to reach this and this is not good, and that also creates a little bit of unhappiness, I think. So it's good to have goals, but try to be grateful for what you have already also.
Yeah. Well, we even look at the source of what anxiety is, right? It's that, obsessing with what's to come, and or even
Mhm.
sometimes fantasizing on what's to come and creating these stories and these images of things that haven't happened, and and that can make you unwell mentally.
Exactly. And that creates also mental health issues indeed. So it's really important to guide also the present moment and don't live only in the future or live in the past, because that creates anxiety or unfulfillment, or not. So it's good to have goals, but don't put your whole life into uh, this. When I reach that, then my life will be okay, because your life is already okay probably. But yeah, combine it.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. That's awesome. Stefan, I'd love to. This has been a fabulous conversation, and so appreciate the insights and a little about your journey, and I love your commitment to to young people. And so, the last question I want to ask here is, if there's that one person who's out there listening, and again, we think about this podcast, we're really encouraging that best audacious life and living to your full potential and doing all the things that you're supposed to. So there's that
Mhm.
one person that's listening now and is kind of wondering, what the first step is, and what things they can do. And outside of going directly to Mindset Explain, which I'm going to encourage people to do, what
Yeah.
can they do to help them get themselves on that path?
Yeah, one of the things that really helped me, because I had a lot of thoughts and a lot of things in my head, and it was a little bit unstructured and chaotic. So what really helped, what could be really helpful, is to grab a piece of paper and write down all the thoughts that you have, and just write it down on like a mind map, or like a word cloud, and then see if you can organize your thoughts a little bit. So to get some more rest and some more clarity for yourself, um, because that could really help already to find some more peace of mind.
Mm,
And then the next step could be, if you interested and I'm the right coach for you, then contact me or reach out to Mindset Explained. And then we can have an introduction call and see if I can do something for you or with you.
for
Because
sure.
I also believe that you are the owner of your own process.
I love
And
that.
yeah,
The owner of our own process.
exactly. Yeah.
And what I love about that is because sometimes we look outside ourselves, right, to find
Hmm.
that truth, and sometimes it's more than just sort of what someone can do for us is what we can do for ourselves. And so
Exactly.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. For
Yeah,
listeners, I
exactly.
want go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Because many people think, okay, if I go to a coach or therapist, then they will fix my problem, or then everything will be all right. But I think it's really powerful to have ownership and to be in control of your own life, and it's your process indeed. So I'm just traveling along with you for a while as a coach, but I'm not living your life. So yeah.
For listeners that want to learn more about your work that you do, Mindset Explained, are you active in social media as well? Is that somewhere else you're?
Yeah, you can go to Instagram or Facebook, and if you type in Mindset Explained, then you will find the channel. And there is also some information, some things I'm sharing, so very interesting.
Very cool.
But the place to be is the website, and that's mindsetexplained.com.
Very cool. Well, again, we're going to encourage our listeners to check it out. Make sure it's in the show notes below. Again, Stefan, I really, really do appreciate the time here and love the mission, love the focus, and love the direction. All the best, my friend, and thanks again for being a guest on the Audacious Living Podcast.
Thank you very much for having me, and I really love this conversation. And hopefully, your audience, someone listening, and thinks, "Wow, this is great!" And thank you for having me. It was really great. I liked it.
Awesome. Thanks. Back we are on the podcast, and wow, that was a really incredible conversation with Stefan. Thank you for being here. There were so many gems in that discussion, but if I had to pull out kind of one main takeaway, it would have to be, everything starts with awareness. You can't change what you don't see, and once you do see it, whether it's a limiting belief, a victim mindset, or a tendency to compare yourself to others, that's where your power begins. What I personally loved most about this interview was Stefan's emphasis on vulnerability. The courage to ask for help isn't a weakness. It's actually one of the most audacious acts of self-love you can commit to. And let's not forget gratitude, something Stefan reminded us beautifully. Yes, keep on dreaming big. Don't overlook the goodness that's already in your life right now. The balance between ambition and appreciation is where true peace lies. If you'd like to connect with Stefan, directly learn more about his work, Mindset Explained, you can go over to his website. We've got the details in our show notes below. Stefan offers one-on-one coaching and workshops for individuals to help you identify and transform your life. So I definitely encourage you to connect with him. As we wrap up, let's kind of go back to that living room analogy, because again, when the lights come on, you might not see what's always there. But remember, awareness, it's about judging yourself. It's an opportunity to see what's around, what needs to be rearranged, if you will. And that's where the audacious in life begins, one intentional choice at a time. Thank you for tuning into this edition of the Audacious Living Podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a huge favor and follow, subscribe, or share with someone who you think needs to hear it. That's how we grow this community and spread this message of living boldly and audaciously. Until next time, stay safe, be kind, show love to one another, and be audacious.
You've been listening to the Audacious Living Podcast, hosted by Audley Stevenson. If you enjoyed what you heard, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be audacious.